This video is brought to you by Fanbase.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Before we start this video, I would like to give a shout out to my sponsor, Catbeats.com. Catbeats.com is your one-stop shop for custom snapbacks made from people all around the world. You can design your own custom hats, snapbacks, beanies, and finding other great designs that suit your fitting. Now on to the video. Starting with the Atlanta Hawks, DeAndre Hunter, who's supposed to explode and take a leap but hasn't won up to his game yet, being the former number 4 pick, viewed as a two-way specialist. Some stretches can score 20 plus 3-4 games in a row, other times score single digits for 2 straight weeks. Many fans say he's a future star and untradeable. Some believe he's just average. While Clint Capella frustrating at times, at least he's a big body who can crash the glass, much needed. Boston Celtics, everybody's beloved, although Robert Williams' injury concerning to start the season. The whole team played super hard last season to reach the finals. I'm going with Blake Griffin, who's a heavy shell of himself, not much left in the tank, can't defend, will bang and foul a lot down low. I'll just leave it at that. Brooklyn Nets, the pathetic, soft and weak-minded Ben Simmons, who continues to be an absolute travesty. Net fans scratching their heads, watching him scared to shoot the damn ball. 1-3 start, picked up where he left off, early drama from Brooklyn, and this time it's not coming from Kyrie Irving. Despite Irving causing multiple headaches throughout the last couple seasons, he can flat out ball and usually back it up on the court, but Simmons looked like he hasn't practiced since Game 7 of 2021. Got shit on by the better and stronger Giannis. Every time the basket's open, Simmons refuses and looks the other way. Everyone will let him have it, and Simmons himself doesn't seem to care, looking like a disaster for Brooklyn. The first $170 million contract player who's actually scared to shoot a basketball, even scared to shoot layups. Only so much Durant and Irving can handle. Charlotte Hornets, I'm going with Mason Plumlee. Not starting caliber, can't guard Embiid or Giannis, similar to Cody Zeller, should be benched instead of a starter. While James Boltnight had his issues, team already wasted draft pick Malik Monk. Bad decisions off the court for Boltnight, combined with a disappointing rookie season. While Miles Bridges, who knows if he will play for the team again. The team certainly looking like a mess. Chicago Bulls, Nikola Vucevic. The team included the Franz Wagner pick for the 6'10 center, can't defend well after making all-star teams and putting up numbers on Orlando. Wasn't as great as fans thought he'd be. DeRozan nearly in his mid-30s now. LaVine been injury prone. Lonzo Ball's knees might sadly not last. The inconsistent offense with the lack of defense, the Bulls just not good enough. Cleveland Cavaliers, Caris LeVert, considered a ball stopper similar to Jordan Clarkson ISO style, doesn't add too much, already have 20 point scores in Garland and Mitchell after winning the job as the starting small forward. Extremely hated as a pacer, didn't care to play for the small market franchise. Many feel he's better off playing with the second unit as a prototypical 6-man. Not high value off ball, doesn't add much on defense, combined with being a poor shooter drawing his lumps, never shot above 45% from the field in any season, won't be the difference maker that'll put the Cavs over the hump. Dallas Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr., a roller coaster career, can prove to be above average, but many frustrating stretches of shooting slumps. The team got to the conference finals without him, still owe $54 million till 2025, off the bench to start the season, certainly a slow start, needs to be adding more value to a team that lost its second best player Brunson last free agency. Denver Nuggets, without a doubt, one of the quickest signings in free agency, DeAndre Fossil Jordan, must have the privilege of the last name Jordan. How does one make sense how he's still an NBA player at age 34, 4 different teams last 3 seasons? Many believe the team signed him away to please KD to join. No reasonable team would even think about signing one of the slowest players. Can't move, gets caught every defensive possession. It'd honestly be a miracle if DJ remains on Denver the whole season. Detroit Pistons, Killian Hayes, drafted 7 by the Pistons as their potential future floor general, absolutely stink for the franchise. Way below average in the NBA, still a bad shooter. The team now with K, Ivy, Stewart, and Sadim Bey. Hard to imagine Hayes being part of the future plans. Almost time the team move on from him. Has no right hand and lacks finishing, even struggles to get past old point guards. Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green, the antics, viral knockout punch in practice to quickly moving on, the dirtiest player in the league. Half of Warrior fans sick of his antics. Borderline tackles players. Once he gets a first tag, can do whatever he pleases on the court. Struggled many games last finals and act like he's a top level superstar, from causing his 73-win team a potential title being suspended to arguing with Kevin Durant from the small fines, no punishment. Poole earned the extension. Green still needs a lot to prove, but in 2020 was proved useless when playing without stars. Houston Rockets, I'm going with Bruno Fernando. From promising second-year Jalen Green, good rookie Jabari Smith, and Kevin Porter Jr. not paid a ton of money, but Fernando getting the starting job over Alperen Sengun left Rocket fans confused because Fernando not that good of an NBA player. The team seems like they want to lose a lot of games and get a #1 draft pick. Indiana Pacers, Buddy Hield, always in trade talks. Laker fans act like he's the second coming of Savior Jesus Christ. Called the Great 10 Commandment, doesn't help the team win much if he chucks up many shots. Lots of flaws, poor decision making, turnover prone, not a high IQ player, had his Westbrook moments. If Lakers do in fact get him, he'll get the Kyle Kuzma treatment. All that welcoming and begging will soon become hating. Not that he'll put them over the top. Paid till 2024, his career overall a little underwhelming. Los Angeles Clippers, Norman Powell, an awful start, might not fit in Kawhi and PG, supposed to be the third option, looked like highway robbery, stealing him from Portland, but his contract looking like speedway robbery. Paid till 2026, absolutely failing to deliver as a starter. From being close to a 20-point scorer each of his last 2 seasons, the 29-year-old looking like a bench warmer, starting 1 of 12 from 3, the West brick of the Clippers. Los Angeles Lakers, Russell Westbrook, absolutely horrendous on all levels, the biggest laughing stock in the NBA. Every Laker fans can't stand his play, combined with the lack of self-awareness and not willing to change. The worst possible outcome, teaming up with LeBron and the team not even a threat at all. 47 mil, looked like a negative 47 on the court. Blames his injuries for coming off the bench, non-stop trade rumors, thousands judging his every move on the court. His 0 of 11 game, if that's not rock bottom and bad enough given his play, I'm afraid there will be many more bad Westbrook games for Laker fans to endure. The Memphis Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks, too much, too often gets his team shook, doesn't play like he read the playbook, an absolute travesty of a chucker for a contender. The awful shots, the king of inefficiency as a small forward, takes the second most shot on his team, single-handedly shot his team out the gym in a crucial playoff game 4 where they should have beaten Golden State. Needs to tone it down with the poor shot selections. Miami Heat, 2 guys most disappointing, 1A and 1B between the aging Kyle Lowry and the one-dimensional Duncan Robinson. The 36-year-old called Dick, while Robinson getting DMPs for playoff games after getting $90 million. Given Matt Strus more versatile, Robinson, if it wasn't for his horrendous contract, the type of guy who can disappear out the league and no one would notice. I'll give the edge to Duncan, who should be in his prime, and Lowry's contract simply was a big risk to begin with given his age. Milwaukee Bucks, George Hill, sticking around a little too long, old and looks lost on both ends, forced to play in the Celtics series from games 3 to 7, only to be held scoreless 4 of those contests, 5 total points in 75 total minutes of action. 5 shot attempts, hit 1, disgustingly bad, had too much of him, trying to act like he's the #1 social justice activist, trying to boycott the bubble. His team ended up stinking and disappointing. Out the second round, Giannis received tons of blame, only to win the title without Hill the following year. The fact that George Hill's still in the NBA heading into 2023, very shocking. Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm going with Taurean Prince, 2 years, $16 million, off the bench, considered a stretch 4, a Mickey Mouse Jay Crowder, 7 points a game guy, at times looks solid but too unpredictable, other times looks like the worst player on the court, bricking, shooting bad. New Orleans Pelicans, nobody on this team really disliked, but the polarizing Zion Williamson still gets by far the most coverage despite playing very few games. Team made the playoffs without him last season, more of a distraction after not being engaged with the team, already missing games early on with a bruise. Fans even made fun of his weight last Mardi Gras. If the Pels somehow underachieved compared to last season, Zion will get the heaviest blame. New York Knicks, the answer is Julius Randle, erratic, reckless style of play, emotions gets the best of him, lashing out on teammates, simply a nightmare when his team goes through tough times, especially being one of the older players, should know better and be more calm instead of forcing the action. Best believe being a second or third option and taking less shots would be more beneficial. Should embrace more of a Draymond role instead of trying to be the guy. The booze will come when he gets ice cold and keeps jacking up contested jumpers. OKC Thunder, I'm going with Chet Holmgren. Despite not playing a single game, playing hurt in the Pro-Am, likely missing the entire season, super confident.
Best player in the NBA in your opinion?
Myself in 2 months.
but most say super cocky too, consider himself the best player in the league 2 months before the season. Some question whether he even be that good due to the super thin body frame and goofy looking. Orlando Magic, Mo Bamba. Still with the franchise, his career's been tragic. Hasn't balled out, still needs to put on weight, got bodied by stronger guys, back up to Wendell Carter, hasn't taken the next step on D, can block some shots but not a dread, guards don't fear him, way behind compared to most of his 2018 class, a draft redo, Bamba might not even go first round, while Jonathan Isaac hasn't played in over 2 years, entering the second year of his 4-year $70 million contract, now age 25, hasn't played an NBA game since he was 22. Philadelphia 76ers, Matisse Thybulle, who fell off after getting hyped as a potential all-defensive team caliber player, hasn't shown to be good enough to knock down shots, resulting in lacking minutes, combined with forgetting to take another COVID shot, couldn't travel to Toronto, team didn't miss him much anyway, personal decisions should be respected, but caught everybody off guard out of nowhere, while Tobias Harris with his fat contract, his lack of production at times, he is who he is at this point. The Phoenix Suns, Jay Crowder still on the roster, will be traded soon after being disgruntled, a postseason vet, been in a ton of big games, an okay role player, 2 finals and 2 losses. The team's still doing very well early without him. When he's gone, Landry Shamet will be the most hated by the fan base, cursing the team, falling in the second round for 3 straight seasons in brutal blown lead fashions. Also a low IQ type player. Portland Trailblazers, nobody I can think of that's hated by the fan base, honestly. Everybody well liked and respected by the fans until further notice. San Antonio Spurs, everybody should be hated right now. Being 3-1 overall, Johnson, Vessel, and Pirtle plus Trey Jones all playing solid. I'm going with Josh Richardson, a free agent end of 2023. Look for the team to trade him for future picks. Toronto Raptors, one of the best teams at developing young players. If there was any player the Raptor fans dislike, I'm going with Malachi Flynn. Due to being deep on the bench, hasn't shown much on the regular basis, can't be relied upon as a rotational piece on a good team, inconsistent shooting, and having a difficult time impacting the game in a big way. Utah Jazz, Mike Conley, at the very tail end of his career, shockingly still on the roster, signed with the team a little too late, a shell of himself past his prime, from missing the potential game winner, Game 7 versus the Nuggets in the bubble, to stinking versus the Clippers the following season, viewed as a guy who can take the load off Mitchell. His collapses in pivotal moment made the Jazz break up the Gobert-Mitchell era. Washington Wizards, Denny Avdia, lots of passionate fans but hasn't shown he can produce highly in the league yet, misses too many funny layups, trending like he'll go back to Europe in a few years given the lack of time NBA teams wait on guys, has good IQ, a good passer, but Washington fans have mixed feeling about their 3rd year player, almost 22, lots of work needs to be done. Thank you so much for watching this video, subscribe for more content, more good stuff coming soon, I love all of you, see you next time.